Well, hello again. Welcome, people of YouTube. Now then, if you remember rightly, if you watched the previous episode, we were talking about the cast parts I've made from 3D prints. Well, today we're going to be using them. Welcome back. Welcome to Stuff I Do. My name's Rob. As I said, we're going to be using some of the cast parts we made the week before, last week. So we're going to be fitting some of those, cutting some down, making them fit, showing you where they go. Don't want to teach you to suck eggs, but I'm going to show you anyway. Hopefully get some of it painted up and it'll start to look a bit more detailed. So without further ado, as they say. Here we are, a shot you're all probably familiar with by now, not just from this one but from the first one made, and of course here's one of the sections we cast last week from a 3D print. So I'm going to be using what was a Pringles tube. Here we are, said Pringles tube, and of course not sponsored by Pringles. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Get some free Pringles. Anyway, the idea is I'm going to cut this down to the correct length, which I believe is 60 millimeters. So we add this on top, so including the height of this fella, makes it about 70, which I think is correct. So that's going to go on there, and then we're going to mount it just there. Okay, so here we go. So I think I'm going to keep this end because it's more sturdy to glue this to. So all I'm going to do, I don't want to teach you to suck eggs anymore like I keep saying, so you know how to measure and things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure this up at 60, which is roughly about halfway. So you can, if you're cautious, get 2 on this particular can, because it happens to be 112 in length. So what I'm going to do is, rather than fight with this on a Stanley knife, which you can do, I'm going to get my large hacksaw on there, because it's nice fine blades, and I want to take my time and get a nice straight cut. So I'm going to cut all the way around there, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we've cut the Pringles tube in half. So as you can see here, the sections which came down here were a little bit too long, so I've cut them down. So now that fits lovely in there. So once we've got this on, that's what we'll have. Much awesomeness. So we'll crack on with that. I'm just going to use a hot glue gun to attach this to the tube, and then I'm going to use the hot glue gun again to attach the tube to the proton pack. Okay, I've hot glued that on. As you can see, it looks like I've not taken any care, but I actually did. Then I went round the edge again with the hot glue gun, purposely making it lumpy, so it looks like a welded area. So it looks like this section's been welded together. So this will be a nice and much neater job as we attach it to the proton pack itself. And then of course we're going to need some paint, and you'll see it all come together as we go along. So our Pringles can is in place, or our HGA unit as the case may be. Once that's painted black, it'll blend right in and no one will know the difference. Okay, just thought I'd share this with you. This is a new toy I've had for some time, so it's not really a new toy, but I've not used it for anything proton pack wise yet. I don't think so anyway. So what I've done is I've used it on some 5mm plywood to actually cut out all these scale sections. This one's obviously where the Proton pack neutrino one will connect, and these will be going all the way around the edge of the cyclotron, because obviously that incorporates the next resin piece that I created, which is this fella here. So now obviously that goes on the bottom of the cyclotron to this side, because it goes around about here, and then the two cables come out from this unit to here, the red and blue cables there. Forgive me if I don't know the correct terminology. So I can't install that, where it is, properly anyway, without installing those. So I'm not sure I'm gonna maybe hot glue those on, or I might just get the contact cement out. That would probably be the best bet forward. Right, so we've got the Pringles HGA in place. This is the layout I'm thinking for the cyclotron scales. So the numbers are correct, and of course this will be attached to that, and that gives us our two holes for the outputs for the two sets of wires that go in here. I think I'm going to get the contact adhesive out, attach all these, and then they'll be ready for paint. There we are then. All the scales, whatever the correct terminology is, are being added. So I've had to make provisions here for the screw holes, obviously, that connect to the base, to the motherboard. Again, once that's all matte black painting, it'd be very difficult to see. Got to make a hole here for the pipe to go through for the neutrino one. Plenty of thickness here. So obviously that's going to be sitting on the floor when it's stood up. So they're all attached now. Let's give them a little bit longer to dry, and we can move on. So here it is painted. You can now see what I'm hoping will look like weld. Obviously I will highlight that with some rubber buff. And I also now painted the scales. They're all now in place. Looking nice. And again, hole for securing screws. It's coming together. A few more bits to tidy up. But it's another section out of the way. Moving forward as always. Okay, so while we've got paints drying and so forth, the printer is busy printing the first half of the bumper that goes over the cyclotron, and obviously the second half, and then there's a centre section I'll put together. Now obviously I'll keep you up to date with that as it goes. Right, so there you go. That's all we've got for this week. Things are still moving on. You can probably hear the printer still going in a bit. And then I have also made a little bit more progress on the first pack, which is spoken for. So the one you've seen is the one I'm building for me, because I still haven't got one, so I need one. Anyway, that is. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you did like what you saw, please leave a comment and let me know what you thought. And please like and subscribe, ring the little bell so you know when I upload the next video. Well, hopefully in a week's time there's some progress on the first pack, because the person that's going to is very patient. Appreciate that. Thanks, Steve. Keep watching. Till then, stay safe.